Hi, I'm Tim. Welcome to our channel and thanks for logging on. If you enjoy these videos, do me a favor and subscribe to our YouTube channel right here at Watchbox Reviews. I would really appreciate it and I promise to update daily. If you like these watches and you like this watch, you can see it and purchase it on our website, thewatchbox.com. And today we are discussing the Grand Seiko Hi-Beat GMT SBGJ001 in stainless steel. You can see on my 16 centimeter circumference wrist, this 40 millimeter case wears easily. It's really more like an extended cushion. As with the Rolex Oyster cases, these Grand Seiko polyhedron cases aren't traditionally round, so they don't wear like traditional round watches. That said, at 14.5 millimeters thick, this watch is neither thick nor thin. It should have no bearing on what you can wear with the watch. Maybe the tightest of dress sleeves won't make it, but any jacket, formal or sports, will easily slide over this watch. Now about the fit. Grand Seiko manages to keep the lug-to-lug dimension constrained for smaller wrists, 46.2 millimeters. When you include the solid end links of the bracelet, the watch only swells to 49.6. So you'll find this is an easy watch to wear on a smaller wrist. I would rate it adequate for a wrist as small as 14 centimeters circumference. The timepiece does feature a very substantial bracelet, a 3-link design with a combination of polish and satin. The detailing is excellent, and you'll note that unlike titanium bracelets, Grand Seiko's steel bracelets feature screws for sizable removable links, big gaps underneath to vent the wrist on a hot day and avoid pinching skin or pulling hair. The clasp is low in profile, but it has twin trigger release, which I appreciate because of the peace of mind that comes with needing to depress both triggers to open your bracelet. You'll note the polished relief of the Grand Seiko logo and border, as well as the thoughtful attention to detail atop the clasp. Satin finish on the top, polish on the flanks, and polished triggers. Moving all the way back, you can see that there are strap tool holes in the flanks of the lugs, so you can easily replace if you wish to fit a strap. 19 millimeters is the lug spacing for those of you who like to go wild with the aftermarket. The case features Grand Seiko's signature Zaratsu polish, and I'm going to go out of my way and say, although it's not quite the samurai sword polishing that Grand Seiko's sales reps make it out to be, it is one of the most impressive features of hand finishing you'll find on any watch priced below $20,000, because it does involve taking the case itself and with bare hands and nothing but eye and hand coordination, with skill and experience, you take the side of the case and you hold it against a rotating tin plate. So by eye, hand, feel, and experience, you create millimetrically identical faceted surfaces that are optically smooth and free of distortion. You'll also note that it creates a case form with almost a gem-like quality. You can see that the tips of these lugs, featuring multiple angled, polished facets, it's almost like you're looking at a cut gem rendered in stainless steel. Very impressive. Moving to the dial, you find that the case might not even be the highlight of this watch. Now, this model has been called the baby snowflake or the circular snowflake because it features the same kind of random, richly textured light coloration and multi-layer stamped, galvanized, and lacquered surfacing. But instead of the somewhat random snowdrift-inspired pattern of the snowflake, this one features a radial pattern, almost like a conventional sunburst, but with greater depth, texture, and variation. This was inspired by the peak of Mount Iwate, which can be seen from Grand Seiko's workshop in Nagano, and you'll also note that not only is it beautifully laid out about its base, but also about its hour track with applied, diamond polished, and faceted indices. The dials of Grand Seiko watches are probably the artisanal highlights of the watch. Yes, that's even with the watchmaker assembled and tuned movements and the Zaratsu polished cases. And that's because Grand Seiko dials are easily on par with Rolex. It's everything from the faceting of those Dauphine hands at center with their gorgeous flanking bevels and mirror polished tops to the blued steel 24-hour hand, and that is a blued heat oxidized hand, not a chemically dyed hand, right down to those hand-placed faceted indices. This is as good as it gets in the industry, short of something with enamel executed by Patek Philippe. Now, it is a dual time. One hand, the blue one, sweeps 24 hours, so a single circuit of the dial per day, and the local hour hand makes 12-hour circuits. You will note that you can adjust the local hour hand independently from that 24-hour hand, so you can change your time zone as you move in either direction across the international date line, as you can also drive the date backwards, and it doesn't affect the timing of the watch. Minutes, second time zone, and seconds continue to tick away. Now you pull the crown out all the way and you do hack the movement. Now you can set everything in sync and you can set the watch to the nearest second. Screw down crown with a little bit of a recess acting as a shear guard. The case back shows you the caliber 9S86, automatic winding, 10 beats per second, 36,000 vibrations per hour, 55-hour power reserve, impressive considering the high beat escapement. 37 joules adjusted to a chronometer besting 6 positions. Chronometers, per the COSC test, generally are regulated in 5 positions. This one goes better at 6. It also features a 100-meter water-resistant case, and I mentioned that by virtue of the screw-down crown, but I need to emphasize that despite the lack of luminescence, this watch really needs to be thought of as a sports watch first and a dress watch second. It has a casual flair to it, a combination of quality and confidence without trying too hard to catch attention. It's the facets, the details, the sharp angles, the edges, and the tangible presence of a human craftsman that sets this watch apart, and that goes equally well with a business suit or a bathing suit. See this one and make it yours on the Watchbox.